Hey everybody, I'm Adrian Bustamante and welcome to Food Deconstructed. On this episode, we're going to deconstruct the staple comfort food, chicken pot pie. Now this recipe's got me really excited. It's chicken and waffles pot pie style. So we're taking that classic chicken and waffles recipe, the chicken pot pie recipe that's so classic as well, putting them together into an awesome breakfast-inspired dish you can have at any time. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make the batter. Now this isn't just your normal batter, this is gonna be a savory batter. Now just like always, we're gonna have some of the original ingredients or the essence of chicken pot pie. So we've got flour, we've got chicken, we got some tarragon, we got some parsley, salt, pepper. We also got some new ingredients to add in. So we have some smoked Gouda, some sour cream, some buttermilk. All these things combined to reconstruct us something awesome. So we're gonna start with all of our dry ingredients, the fresh herbs and the cheese. So we have 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of minced tarragon, 1 teaspoon of parsley, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and then a half a teaspoon dried rosemary. Half a cup of smoked Gouda. All right, now that's set aside. We're gonna take these 3 eggs and we're gonna separate them from the yolks from the egg whites, because we're gonna get the egg whites and we're gonna whip them together. Now, to get the egg whites whipped, I'm gonna use a hand blender. What we're looking for is to go from like a frothiness, almost like a whipped cream look. Bring back our dry ingredients and all the cheese. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a well here. We'll just kind of create a hole in the center of our dish here. Place the other ingredients into. Those ingredients will be the 3 egg yolks, 2/3 of a cup of sour cream, and 2 cups buttermilk. There we go. And half a cup vegetable oil. All right, now we're gonna mix these all together. Get it so you don't see that flour mixture anymore. You wanna get it a nice battery consistency. Once that's all mixed together, we're gonna take our cup of shredded chicken. So just kind of pieces throughout your batter. We're gonna fold it in nicely. Do the same thing for your egg whites. That fluffy consistency. You keep doing this until you don't see the egg whites anymore. Now the reason we're putting the egg whites in is just to create a fluffier batter for ourselves. So from here, we're gonna take this and put it on our waffle maker. But before that, I'm gonna start in the gravy. What we're gonna do is take a little extra virgin olive oil, place it in our pan that's already been heating. Again, move that oil around. The first thing we're gonna place in there is a half a cup diced white onions. Again, you're gonna saute them around for about a minute or so. We're gonna bring in our sliced mushrooms, about 8 ounces worth or 1 package at your normal grocery store. Get all the oil on the mushrooms. Next up, we're gonna go a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Usually about a pinch all the way through. And next up, we're gonna do a 1/4 cup white wine. I put that in there, let it evaporate a little bit. Next up, it's gonna be 3 cups chicken stock. Let that evaporate a little bit. And then once you add your 3 cups of chicken stock in there, you're gonna wanna let that evaporate down to hopefully about 2 cups. Just kind of gauge it with your eyes as much as you can. Then we're gonna add our peas and our carrots as well. Diced carrots, frozen peas. So that's evaporating nicely. So what I'm gonna do now is take 1.5 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of water, and I'm gonna combine these into a bowl. And we're gonna mix them up until they're nice and smooth. So just take a small whisk, just mix it up until it gets nice and smooth. You don't see any of that dryness of the flour anymore. Looking good. If you reduce the heat because it was evaporating, you're gonna wanna bring this back to a boil again. We're adding this to create more of a thickening agent to our gravy. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add our butter. We're gonna do it 1 tablespoon at a time. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons. Once you see it start melting down to almost nothing, then you can add that 2nd tablespoon in. All right, we're gonna let that come to a simmer, thicken up on its own. And now we're gonna start on making our waffles. We're bringing our Cuisinart waffle maker. Now you can buy these at any department store. They roughly start at around $20 and go up depending on how fancy you want your waffle maker to be, but this one's gonna work just fine for us. Before we put the batter in, I'm gonna spray some of my non-stick cooking spray on here. The ladle is a scoop. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go directly in the middle and let it work its way out onto the waffle maker. Close the top, ready to go. All right, these waffles are just about done. So here we go. Open that up. They should be nice and golden brown, a little crispy on top. There, nice and easy, shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. Cut it right down the middle. And take our gravy, drizzle it over each waffle. Then I'll take a little bit of shredded chicken that I kept off to the side and garnish it with a little tarragon. There you have it, chicken and waffles, pot pie style. You get a little chicken, a little gravy. Out of all the recipes we've done for chicken pot pie so far, I think that one has the essence of chicken pot pie in it more than them all. You have the crunchiness coming from the waffle, the gravy, the saltiness of the chicken, just all wrapped up into one, but it's just a little bit different taste that you're used to with that chicken pot pie. Great stuff, great for any occasion. There you go. Chicken and waffles, pot pie style. And coming up next is gonna be the most exciting one we have so far for you on the next episode, chicken pot pie milkshake.